Some things are just meant to go together. Salt and pepper, bread and butter, pen and paper. The same is true in football. Here are some of the best duos the game has ever seen. Xavi and Iniesta. Lionel Messi was the star of Pep Guardiola's legendary Barcelona side, but Xavi and Andre Iniesta were the heartbeat of the team. The midfield duo dominated football with their tiki-taka style of short, rhythmic passing. Neither player was fast, athletic or powerful, but their technical ability and tactical intelligence was unrivaled. Xavi and Iniesta won Euro 2008, the 2010 World Cup and Euro 2012 with Spain. Xavi was a midfield controller who dictated the tempo, while his partner in crime was an excellent dribbler who always wriggled out of tight spaces. Xavi and Iniesta are two of the best midfielders of all time. It's lucky for us that we got to see them play together at the same time and in the same team. York and Cole. Teddy Sheringham and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored the goals that won Manchester United the Champions League in 1999. Those two stole the headlines, but both players actually began the final on the bench. It was Andy Cole and Dwight York who started the match. These two strikers had a telepathic understanding. They terrorised Juventus in the semis and scored a combined 53 goals during United's treble season. York used to drop a little deeper from centre forward, while Cole preferred to sprint in behind the opposition defence. Both were fantastic goal scorers, but they didn't mind if their partner in crime was the one who found the net. York and Cole were later reunited at Blackburn, but it's their time together at Old Trafford that will always be remembered. Robben and Ribéry. For 10 years at Bayern Munich, Arjen Robben and Frank Ribéry terrorised fullbacks. The two wing wizards were nicknamed Robbery, and they helped Bayern steal 3 points on a regular basis. Robben and Ribéry were a deadly double act who provided assists for each other and for other Bayern players too. Robben scored 144 goals during his time with the club, while Ribéry notched 124. Bayern used them as inverted wingers, with Ribéry on the left and Robben on the right. They could either destroy teams on the counter-attack or unpick deep defences with their invention and trickery. Robben and Ribéry won 8 Bundesliga titles and a Champions League together. Both will be remembered as Bayern Munich legends. Messi and Suarez. The first great Barcelona team that Lionel Messi played in was Pep Guardiola's. The second was Luis Enrique's, when he formed a scintillating front three with Neymar and Luis Suarez. Messi and Suarez spent 6 years together at the Camp Nou. In that time, they won 4 La Liga titles and the Champions League, and scored 280 goals between them. The two South Americans became close friends off the pitch, and that helped their understanding on it. Messi and Suarez were electric together. The Uruguayan was on the same wavelength as Messi, and they were both happy to create chances for each other. La Liga defences just couldn't handle this dynamic duo. Cafu and Roberto Carlos. Brazil has produced more world-class fullbacks than any other nation, from Jaume Santos and Carlos Alberto in the 60s and 70s, right up to Dani Alves in the modern era. Two of the greatest were Cafu and Roberto Carlos. When they burst onto the scene in the 1990s, most fullbacks were defenders first and foremost, but the Brazilian duo changed the role forever by becoming key figures in attack. Roberto Carlos thundered down the left flank every time he played. He was a powerful runner with a brilliant left foot. Everyone's seen his banana kick against France, but that wasn't the only stunner he scored. Cafu was a bit more measured than Roberto Carlos. He was better defensively, but also had the energy and stamina to get up and down the wing. Their crowning glory came at the 2002 World Cup, when Cafu and Roberto Carlos shone as wingbacks, as Brazil won the trophy for the 5th time. Henry and Bergkamp. Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp are regarded as two of the greatest players in Premier League history. For 7 glorious seasons, Arsenal fans got to watch them strut their stuff together. Putting two world-class players together doesn't always work though, but it did with Henry and Bergkamp. They were very different footballers. Bergkamp was more of a second striker who liked to play between the lines. He was slow, but he more than made up for it with his incredible technique and vision. Henry was a prolific goalscorer with pace to burn. He could run in behind the defence, safe in the knowledge that Bergkamp had the quality to find him with a well-timed through ball. The pair won 2 Premier League and 2 FA Cups together and helped Arsenal become the Invincibles in 2003-4. Rooney and Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is back at Manchester United, but he won't get to relive his partnership with Wayne Rooney, despite the fact Wazza is actually younger than him. Carlos Tevez played his part, but Rooney and Ronaldo were United stars between 2006 and 2009. They scored more than 150 goals together in those 3 years and won 3 Premier League titles and the Champions League. They were exhilarating on the counter-attack, as this goal against Bolton shows. Rooney deserves a lot of credit for making this partnership work. He wanted to be the main man at United, but he recognised that Ronaldo was even better than him. Rooney was willing to put in the hard yards to make sure his teammate could preserve his energy for the key moments. That selfless attitude, plus the two players' unbelievable quality, was what made this duo shine. Gerrard and Torres. Steven Gerrard spent almost his entire career at Liverpool. He played with several great players during his 17 years in the first team: Michael Owen, Xabi Alonso, Javier Mascherano and Luis Suarez, to name a few. His most productive partnership was with Fernando Torres. It's easy to forget just how good Torres was at Liverpool. For a while, he was probably the best striker in the world. Rafa Benitez used Gerrard as a right midfielder when he first took over, but the Liverpool captain often played as a number 10 later on. Between 2007 and 10, he and Torres scored a combined 129 goals. Liverpool fell short of Manchester United in the Premier League over those 3 years, but Gerrard and Torres pushed the Red Devils all the way. Barrezi and Maldini. Italian football has produced countless elite defenders down the years. That's true in the modern day too. Just look at how Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci performed at Euro 2020. The two best Italian defenders of all time are Franco Barrezi and Paolo Maldini. Their eras coincided between 1984 and 1997, when the two club legends played together for AC Milan and the national team. Maldini spent much of his career at left-back, despite naturally being right-footed. He could also play at centre-back and sometimes partnered Barrezi there, including in the 1994 World Cup final. Before that, Maldini and Barrezi were integral parts of the Milan team that won back-to-back European Cups under Arrigo Sacchi. In their 13 years playing together at club level, Milan conceded an average of just 23 goals per season. Silva and Aguero. When David Silva and Sergio Aguero joined the club in 2010 and 11, Manchester City hadn't won the league since 1968. Now they're a major force at home and abroad, and Silva and Aguero played a huge role in getting them there. Silva was the silky schemer who created chances for fun. Aguero was the clinical finisher who was lethal inside the penalty area. Both players suited each other perfectly. Silva seemed to prefer providing assists to scoring goals. Aguero was never happier than when he put the ball in the net. Silva and Aguero won 4 Premier League titles at the Etihad. When it comes to Manchester City legends, you don't get much bigger than these two. Lampard and Drogba. With 36 goal contributions, Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba were the deadliest duo in Premier League history. No two players have combined for more goals than this pair of Chelsea legends. Lampard and Drogba won the title together in 2005, 6 and 2010, and they both scored in the penalty shootout that won Chelsea the Champions League in 2012. Drogba was a target man centre-forward who bullied opposition defenders. He scored 157 goals in his first spell at Chelsea and was superb at bringing his teammates into the game. That suited Lampard down to the ground. The attacking midfielder excelled at making late runs into the box, and many of his goals came from Drogba's knockdowns or playoffs. Without the Ivorian ahead of him, Lampard might never have become Chelsea's all-time record goalscorer. Basten and Hulit. AC Milan went all Dutch in the late 1980s. Arrigo Sacchi brought Frank Rijkaard, Marco van Basten and Ruud Gullit to the club, believing the 3 men from the Netherlands could help his team dominate Europe. He was right. Milan won back-to-back European Cups under Sacchi, plus 1 Serie A title. They're regarded as one of the greatest teams of all time, and Van Basten and Hulit played a huge role in that. Sacchi favoured a 4-4-2 formation with the 2 Dutch stars up front. They were different players though. Van Basten was an out-and-out striker, whereas Gullit liked to drop deeper to create. Van Basten scored 128 goals in just 205 appearances for Milan, while Gullit chipped in with 56 goals of his own. When you combined their attributes together, Marco and Ruud were the perfect attacking duo. Vidic and Ferdinand. Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand are arguably the best centre-back pairing in Premier League history. They won everything there is to win during 8 years together at the heart of Manchester United's defence. The reason this partnership worked so well was the difference in styles between the two defenders. Rio Ferdinand was a ball-playing centre-back who was brilliant at playing out from the back. Nemanja Vidic was more no-nonsense. He dominated opposition strikers in the air and on the ground. Vidic and Ferdinand had a mutual respect and an understanding of each other's games. They were the solid foundation upon which Alex Ferguson built his last great Manchester United team.